After 20 years of steadily gaining weight, I finally broke that trend last year. So now I want to share with you the 7 tips I wish I had known before to finally see results. My first tip is about making more specific goals. Now you've probably heard this term before, either from school or maybe at work, and that is a SMART goal, but I want you to make process-based SMART goals. An object-based goal would be to say, I want to lose 6 pounds in 30 days. But a process-based SMART goal would be, I'm going to commit to 5-2 intermittent fasting for 30 days. A process-based SMART goal gets to the how you're going to accomplish something, not what you want to accomplish. Last year, I set a goal to try 5-2 intermittent fasting for a month, and I ended up losing 6 pounds. But more importantly, I learned that 5-2 intermittent fasting is by far my favorite way to cut calories. And if you want to learn more about that specific journey, you can learn about that in this video here. But look, not every process-based goal is going to be successful. And if it doesn't work out, we have to stop thinking that we failed or that we're never going to be successful on our weight loss journey. Instead, let's rewire our brains to think like Thomas Edison. When he was asked how it felt to fail 1,000 times before creating the light bulb, he said, I didn't fail 1,000 times, I learned 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. And that's a beautiful mindset to have going forward on your weight loss journey. If you have setbacks, you're not failing, you're just learning what doesn't work for you. My second tip has all to do with social media. Like it or not, social media impacts our thoughts, behaviors, and even our self-perception. So if you are trying to lose weight, purge your social media accounts of all the Lauren Kagers, the Jen Settlers, the Michelle Lewins, instead of following people whose literal jobs it is to sell you on the idea that if you follow their diet and exercise plans, you can look like them too. Find people on the internet that have a similar journey to you. Look for the busy mom working an office job hoping to adopt healthier eating habits. Find the 50-year-old divorcee who wants that rockin' revenge body. Whoever you are, I promise there's somebody out there who has a similar lifestyle to you sharing their journey, and they are who you should follow. Once you've purged your account of unrealistic fitness influencers, I highly recommend following what I call body realism accounts. 2 I recently fell in love with on Instagram are @problematicfame, who shares untouched photos of celebrities, and @withloveshell, who shows her real photos compared to posed and filter-enhanced ones. I love when these pop up in my feed as I'm scrolling because they remind me not to compare myself to the misleading, perfect photos that are being shared online. If you still find yourself envying those flawless beach bodies, I highly recommend you look into Stephanie Buttermore's story. She has videos that talk about how she physically felt maintaining that low-fat body weight lifestyle and why she decided to change her eating habits. Now, tip number 3, I want to talk about how to exercise when you maybe don't like exercising all that much. I certainly have never considered myself to be an athlete, I was never into sports as a kid, and I have no desire to become a gym rat. However, there's 2 things I always notice when I do exercise regularly. One is that I have more muscle tone, but the second one is that I have way more energy, which I do need chasing after a 2-year-old every day. So here's what I want you to focus on when establishing a workout routine this year. First, make short process goals that you can commit to test out what exercises you do and don't like. Start where you know you can find success, and you can always expand the time later. Secondly, you'll find a lot of advice on what exercises you should be doing, but the single best exercise you can do is one you enjoy and that you'll stick with. I really enjoy bar workouts, dancing, and hiking, but I hate things like cycling and weightlifting. Stop thinking you need to be doing what everyone else is to see results. Instead, find the workouts that make you feel good inside and out. The 4th thing we're going to talk about is how to track your progress. You can measure the inches as they fall off, track the time it takes you to run a mile, or watch your clothes get baggy. But by far, my favorite way to track progress is by taking photos. It is extremely satisfying to literally watch yourself get in shape on a little flip book. My recommendations for doing this is to take the photos wearing the same outfit and make sure you write your weight and the date on those photos. I also like to take progress photos after I've lost about 10 pounds or when I've completed some sort of challenge. But now, we gotta talk about the dreaded scale. We all hate this thing, and while it's true it is not the best measure of your health, it is a good gauge of if you're making progress or not. So here's my advice. Either weigh yourself every day or weigh yourself once a month. But I lacked the willpower to only weigh myself once a month, so instead I weigh myself each morning, and I also found that it was a great motivator and reminder of the goals I was trying to accomplish each day. However, what really surprised me about weighing myself was learning about my natural weight fluctuations throughout my cycle. For instance, I learned that I gain about 2 to 3 pounds around my period and also in the middle of my cycle when I ovulate. The first couple of months when I didn't realize what was going on, I would get extremely frustrated when I saw the scale go up, especially when I was working my ass off. So this is my warning to you. If you do weigh yourself sporadically and you happen to weigh yourself on a bloat day, you may think you're not making progress when you actually are. Now, let's move on how to celebrate achievements. Because here's the hard truth I learned last year: you need to be your biggest cheerleader. As much as you're gonna want others to notice your hard work and validate it, it's not going to happen. At least, not as often as you would like. They aren't gonna notice the 5 pounds you worked your ass off to lose last month. So that's why you need to celebrate your achievements. And haters be damned, if that means you want to celebrate with a big brownie sundae, do it. So plan out celebrations for yourself, and when you hit a goal, make sure you do it. The sixth tip we're going to talk about is a quick one. It's to take breaks when you need them. However, when you take a break, try to keep it to 2 weeks or less. For me, I find 1 week is best. If I go 2 weeks, it's much harder for me to get back into those healthy habits. But if you have family visiting or you're going on vacation, you don't need to feel guilty about not working out or indulging in some extra treats. It is completely okay to take breaks. Just make sure you have a game plan for getting yourself back on track afterwards. Now, the very last tip we're going to talk about is analysis paralysis. Consuming too much information keeps you from even starting on a goal or from completing it as you jump around to the next it thing you've read about. And I don't want this to be another video that you watch and then all the information leaves your head. So what I want you to do is get a pen and paper or pull up your notes on your phone, and we're gonna write down a plan for the next 30 days. First, we're gonna write down 2 progress goals. The first around your diet and the second around exercising. An example of a diet-based process goal could go something like, I'm going to do 16/8 intermittent fasting for the next 30 days. And an exercise process goal could be that you're going to do 2 dance workouts and 1 hike each week for the next 30 days. After you've gotten your 2 goals written down, I want you to write out how you plan to measure your progress. One way is, of course, by completing the goals you just set, but you also need to think about how you're going to measure your body progress if you want to measure that. Lastly, I want you to write down 3 rewards that you can give yourself after you've completed these progress goals. And again, with your progress goals, it doesn't matter how much you lose, it matters what you've learned from them. So make sure you reward yourself just for completing them, even if you don't think you lost as much as you should have. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you for going on this hike with me, and it would be amazing to let people know in the comments what your progress goals are going to be for the next 30 days. Good luck on your journey, and I'll see you in the next one.